All right, hello everybody. Today we are going to be talking about our dynamic effort upper body day, Tuesday, August 26, 2025. Going through what we did today first, like we have been. We did banded face pulls, banded tricep press downs, and med ball slams for kind of our activation warm up type of thing. And then our main thing today was speed bench versus chains with a 3-second eccentric. And we did this at 40% of our floor press from last week. Probably it wasn't super exact. Again, we're just kind of ballparking for the most part. And then we did JM press for 6 seconds, eccentrics, supinated pause, bent over rows, chest supported Y raise, and dead hangs once again. So that was what we did today, and we'll actually get into the videos. So first thing first, we did hit a PR in JM press today, as well as the chest supported Y raise, which was cool. Going through, just gonna rep through banded face pulls real quick, nothing serious. Try to grab a little bit higher up on the band today just to get a little bit more tension than we have been. Again, I think all these things will be switching next week for our activation and some assistant type exercises. Not a lot going on and not a lot to see here. And then tricep press downs. Again, not a lot to see. Kind of going to run through these pretty quick as long as it loads up nice, potentially. There we go. Again, not too bad there. There's Cameron deciding to stand right in my camera, but I'm just playing. Cameron's cool. TD in the back there. We're just kind of chatting before we get started. And then some med ball slams. Get nothing fancy. Just trying to just put as much force into the ball and then through the ground as I can. Again, starting up on my toes, snapping down to the ground, absorbing a little bit of that force as well. And then we get into some of the meat and potatoes of the workout. Speed bench versus chains. I did 95 pounds, which was about 40%, give or take, of my 205, which actually is more like 50%, but of my 205 floor press the other day. But my speeds were really good today. I think I hit 2 reps under 0.8, which I was pretty happy with. TD was standing a little bit in the camera there, which is not a big deal. We'll go ahead and just watch this first set. Kind of moved over. 1, 2, 3. Good. Punching that up. Again, we'll go full screen here. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and skip this one. TD was in the way. I just had to move the camera just because we had the Tendo unit instead of the OVR on there today. But the OVR is my kind of device, and the UCM currently uses the Tendo devices. But getting my little setup here, being probably a little more dramatic than I have to be with 95 bar weight. But anyway, we're here. 1, 2, 3, punch. I was actually really, really happy with these presses today. My dynamic effort stuff has not been as quick as I was hoping for, but it's definitely picked up a little bit. And today, like I said, was really, really good. No, 99% of my reps were over that 8.8 meters per second mark. I think I generally hit like 2 or 3, maybe at 70. Which obviously is not actually 99% of my reps. But anyway, going through here with my setup. Big brace here. Not really, but decent brace, I guess. 1, 2, 3. Punching as hard as I can. 2, 3. Punching as hard as I can. And yeah, so the biggest thing was it was really consistent throughout all of these reps. And actually, towards the end, I don't know if it was just kind of a CNS finally started to click or what, but I actually started firing really, really well. We'll actually go ahead and skip to this last set here because they all looked relatively the same. Nothing really to complain about. Getting set up again for this last one. And I don't have the audio, I don't think. Here. We're 8, 9, 8, 6. And I'm going to pause that because I used some profanity after that. So, but anyway, all moved pretty good. I was just really hoping for that 0.9. Didn't quite get it. I got 0.89 twice throughout that, which was really, really annoying. For the last 2 sets, I hit 0.89, I believe, on my first rep. Was really annoying, but speed bench went really, really well. Then we went into that JM press, and I'm going to go ahead and just go to the last set. Definitely struggled a little bit on this set here. got pretty heavy there towards the end. Still figuring out the whole technique with the JM. Getting better at kind of letting my elbows sink down and then coming to my face. Felt pretty good. The triceps definitely got uh, some good stimulus there. I think I actually ended up clanking the J hook on one of these reps, if I'm not mistaken. I might have done it right there before. But we'll kind of speed these up just a little bit, I think, because my technique's looking a lot better on these. Yeah, we'll speed these up because I'll show some of the ones I got a little bit grindy there. That one's a little bit grindy. Avery in the back doing her supinated rows. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not bad. Let's actually see what time I start. Breaks the elbows at 117. Not too bad. About a little short, maybe 5 seconds. I'm pretty happy with that, especially on that last rep. My tempo definitely got probably cut a little bit short with me counting my own. So I'm pretty happy with that. Hit the good tempos. Technique was a lot better today. That last set definitely was kind of a grinder. However, I originally planned 3x8 at 50, but I ended up just kind of doing 1 at 45 to make sure the elbow and the wrist is feeling okay. Something's been going off my wrist. I don't know if it's just because I've stopped using straps and it's just putting a lot more stress on my forearm muscles since I've stopped using straps. But so I was kind of worried about that. It ended up being fine, so I jumped up and said all the way up to 55 pounds, more for convenience sake of switching weights and things between training partners. But yeah, so that went really, really well. I was happy with the JM press, and I believe that's the last time we're going to do that this training cycle or block, whatever you want to call it, program, because next 3 weeks are looking a little bit different. But and then we're going to roll down to the supinated pause binaural rows. As you can see, I did 135. I think I was originally planned 125, I believe, or at least probably should have been. But I did 875 on my reps. Not super happy with that, but wanted to just stay honest with myself on these. So we'll go and get to where we're starting here. 2, 3. Supposed to be a 3-second pause at the top, but they were a little shorter than I'd prefer. 1, 2. Yeah, so they're a little short on the pause, but that's okay. Kind of. They were definitely a little bit heavy and probably a little too heavy than what I should have been. But that, again, it's okay. I'm just trying to learn more about, again, finding that proximity to failure in the certain weights, because my training is just changing a lot and I'm still trying to kind of evolve the way that I train, I guess, towards more of a strength training versus kind of a bodybuilding hypertrophy style. Obviously, I'm still trying to do hypertrophy and things like that, but more with an emphasis on building just absolute raw strength, relative strength, all that good stuff. But anyway, then we go into this chest supported Y raise, and I'm going to go ahead and play these again. I did 2 different sets or 2 different variations. So these first ones, I'm just doing your normal Y raises, and I use the 10s on these because they were burning pretty really well on these. Again, not going to go through too much here. Definitely started to fatigue after a little bit on these because I think I've been doing them a little bit more towards like a T versus a Y, and I think that kind of caused a little bit of, I had just better leverage at the T side. So these 10s actually felt pretty dang heavy today. But then we're going to switch up. So this one I'm more of a chest supported, and this one I'm chest supported as well. However, I'm putting more of my weight on my sternum. As you can see, I'm a lot further up on the bench. And then I'm going to think about squeezing my scapulas back here, kind of almost backing down is kind of the goal. And that just feels really, really good on the upper back, honestly. And I'm actually feeling still a little tight, pumped, whatever you want to say, from these. I think at least consciously thinking about it now, I definitely am. But definitely both are very, very good variations for that upper back. Felt really, really good. And then not going to go through the rest of these. But then I did the dead hang. Decided not to record it, mostly because just wanted to use the timer for TD and I. But then we're going to go over these metrics real quick. I did last a minute. TD and I both did, and we actually went underhand or supinated grip on those. Felt really good on the shoulders. The lats, definitely a little bit harder than overhand. Don't know the full reasoning behind that. Probably just because it's a little weaker in that position, maybe. But anyway, going through our metrics, like I said, The duration was 65 minutes, right in that same range that we've been in. Difficulty was on that moderate level, just because just overall just trying to push it. And then fatigue, honestly, was 2. I felt really really good today. Slept good. Didn't have to. Wasn't really doing much physically for most of the day, besides walking to class and things like that. But yeah, so that difficulty chart's kind of has gone up a time or two, but mostly stays around that 3 range. Duration pretty solid. Like I said, again, I have that one GPP session that makes this look a little weird, but again, I'm more worried about this trend line right here versus this one data point. And then we have our fatigue scale, which has been at 4 a time or two, but mostly chills between the 2 and 3 area like that. So yeah, that has kind of been our dynamic effort day for August 26, 2025. Um, if you have any questions about the program, let me know. I can send it to you, or at least what we're doing as well. It's Nate Harvey's high mileage conjugate program. If you are interested on I think it's on the Elite FTS website. I didn't pull it up. TD actually has kind of got this going for us. But yeah, and if you have also any questions about coaching or how it goes on through here, just let me know in the comments as well. And I'd be more than happy to kind of talk to you through that. Or if you're interested in using it to coach yourself or anything like that, yeah, go ahead and leave a comment down below. But besides that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.